Hi pumpkins, welcome to my channel. My name is Caroline Ironwill. I am a certified coach practitioner and professional tarot consultant. And today I am doing yet another video on why Doreen Virtue is a piece of crap.
I wanna have on that avenue. I wanna have on that avenue.
Now, every time I do a video on Doreen Virtue, I undoubtedly get comments that are saying that I'm anti-Christian or Christophobic or Christian bashing, and I need to make it very, very clear that that is not the case. I think that there are good people in Christianity. I think that there are good people in any religion. In fact, I don't think that someone's religion dictates whether they're a good or a bad person. I think that someone's behavior does. And I am critical here of one person who is a human, who is a flawed human, who has a history of doing unsavory things, and that behavior has not changed in the time before her conversion. After her conversion, it has continued that she has been up to some shady behavior. So that's the first thing I want to say. I'm not anti-Christian. I am pro-exposing people who are terrible. And Doreen Virtue is a really terrible person. And if we are to use these Christian standards, then I think we can safely say that Doreen Virtue does not meet the standards that she holds others up to. The second thing I would like to say is that I am not anti-divorce. I think that divorce isn't just for if there's ABUSE or if there's infidelity. I think that sometimes partners outgrow each other, especially when they get married really young. I think that people change and grow, and sometimes they grow apart. And if two people are married and they're making each other miserable, I think that it is completely acceptable to say, like, you know what, this isn't working, let's call it quits. Now, I've never been married. I would love to be someday, but I understand that marriage is hard work and that you need to be committed, and then there's going to be some times when you want to strangle your partner, and it's often worth working through. But if it isn't, I think that allowing two people to move on with their lives is healthy. The third thing I will say is that I don't believe just because someone is biologically related to you that you are mandated to have a relationship with them. I think that family is important, and I think that families should try to stick together, but I think if there's matters of ABUSE, or if there's like really unhealthy dynamics, that separating yourself from someone who is toxic is the best thing to do. I haven't spoken with my own mother in over a decade, and I am totally cool with that. So, having said that, let's get into, what is this, video number 13 on why Doreen Virtue is a piece of crap. I started this series and I said something like, oh, I could probably do a dozen videos on how problematic she is, and I didn't think that I would actually get to 13. And there's more coming. Doreen Virtue claims to hold to family values. She is quite judgmental of those who are living outside of a one-man, one-woman relationship, and has shunned people who are part of LGBTQ communities, who have children out of wedlock, who terminate pregnancies. And so Doreen gives this impression that she is very much about what she considers to be the biblical definition of marriage. However, don't get me started. I mean, Solomon had 300 wives. We can have that discussion another day. Doreen Virtue has been married 5 times. Again, like, I don't think divorce is bad. I think that if you grow apart from somebody and it's not working, then it's okay to call it quits. And I think it's okay to find someone else who makes you feel happy after you've ended that marriage that's not working. But to be that judgmental of people who are living a lifestyle that's different from hers, or who love people who she doesn't approve of, and then for her to be on her 5th marriage. Technically, if she was following biblical rules, which she adheres to, she should be going back to her first husband. Now, I don't know what that marriage was like. I'm not saying that that's what she should do, but I'm saying that if she wants to judge people by those rules, those are the standards. Doreen has 3 children. I am not going to focus on her youngest. Her youngest daughter is not really a public figure. She doesn't really have social media, or if she does, it's private, and that's her business. I have read on various social media forums that she has no relationship with her daughter. I'm not sure how old her daughter is. Her daughter was born out of her 4th marriage, I think. Has the last name of her 4th husband, and may, with timelines, may be a minor, but yeah, or if not a minor, a very young adult. I'm not focusing on her. Doreen has 2 sons, though, from her 2nd marriage, Charles and David Virtue. Both of her sons have co-authored books and done many workshops with Doreen. It's not like they just, had an unhealthy relationship and decided to walk away from each other to preserve themselves. They were close. They worked together professionally. They had a very large empire together under the Virtue name. Virtue is her 2nd husband's name. Now, we associate the word virtue with being virtuous, meaning being pure, being righteous, but the VIR in virtue actually comes from the same root word in Latin as virility, so it means to be really manly, to be really masculine. But she kept that name, not because it's the same name as her 2 children, as her 2 sons, but because it sounds spiritual. So she built this empire on this last name that she was never going to keep. It's about branding, not about family. She has cut ties with both of her sons. Her oldest son, Charles, is a gay man, and Doreen is against homosexuality, so she has no relationship with him. Charles continues to teach and to write books about angels and various other aspects of New Age spirituality, as does her youngest son, David. David is married to Melissa Virtue, and Melissa and David are both active speakers and authors within the New Age community. In January of 2018, Melissa made a post about how hurtful it was that Doreen had abandoned her family, and she was shocked at the turnaround. And but Doreen has chosen to not just end a relationship that's toxic with family members. She was close to them. She shunned them. If your religion tells you that people who you love, who you are close to, that you're not allowed to speak to them, that you're not allowed to follow them on social media, that you can't have a relationship with them, I think that is really, really toxic, and that is one of the hallmarks of a cult. So I think that for someone who talks about family values and for living the Bible-centered life, I think that Doreen has been very much of a hypocrite and has been incredibly hurtful to her family and as well to her audience in modeling such really awful and toxic behaviors when it comes to family values. So that is episode number 13. I really should make a playlist about why Doreen Virtue is a terrible human. Please do subscribe to my channel because there is more coming, and I do have some really, really cool stuff coming in the new year. Do give this video a like and subscribe. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, pumpkins, and may you pray with a good fire. Bye, pumpkins.